my purpose here today is to do two things. One is to go through some word problems that have to do with annuities. We started talking about annuities on Tuesday when we got together. I described what they were. I showed you the formulas. In fact, let me just make sure you can all see the formula that I have on the screen right now. These two formulas were the formula. By the way, can everybody see the formulas that I put up on the screen just now? So A equals R, etc., etc. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. So these are the formulas that we're going to be using again today. But now we're going to have to, when I gave you questions on Tuesday, we kind of just took all the words out and gave you the bare necessities. Now you're going to have to read the question and figure out what all the pieces are that need to go into the equation. And the other thing is that some of you had some trouble using the calculator, which is why I decided to get this simulation calculator to go through the steps with you as we go through the questions. So I'm hoping you can either remember these formulas or you have them on a piece of paper that you printed off somewhere. I'll just review them very quickly. It says that for an annuity, and remember, an annuity has to do with not just putting one amount of money, but putting in money at several different intervals. So this R is the amount that you're putting in at different intervals, whether it's monthly, quarterly, weekly, annually. That's what this R represents. So when I need to figure out how much I'll have at the end of the day, I'm going to put the R into 1 plus I, the I being the interest rate per compounding period, to the power of n, which is how many times I'm compounding, minus 1 over the I. Okay, so that's if I want to know how much I'm going to have at the end of an investment period. That's different from the second equation, although it's related to annuities as well. The second equation is the one that tells us how much that regular amount needs to be. So I know what my A is. I know how much money I want to have in the future. And I know what the interest rate is, and I know how long I'm going to have it in, but I don't know what is the amount I need to put in every month or every quarter or every year to get to the A that I'd like to have. So this is more when I'm trying to set a goal and I want to be able to get to that goal, and I want to know what I need to do each month or each quarter to get to that goal. So the first equation tells you what the amount is going to be. The second equation tells you what the regular payment needs to be to get to the amount. Hopefully everybody can see the distinction between those two. So what I'm going to jump to now is the, let me see if I can get to it now. Oh, oops, 1 second here. What I want to go to now is to some of the questions that you had, because some people just said they couldn't figure out how to do these questions on the calculator. So I'm going to go through some of these questions that were on your homework with you step by step. You're going to have this calculator on the screen as well. So as I'm doing it, I expect you to do it as well with your calculator. I'm going to point to the keys you need to be entering, and we're all hopefully going to end up with the same number at the same time. Okay? So let's get started. So here comes the first question. An amount, so I'm trying to figure out the amount, $75, let me bring the calculator back up. $75 invested monthly at 3.2% compounded monthly for 8 years. Now, for all of these calculations, the amount that I'm putting in and the compounding period are always going to be the same. Not that in the real world they always have to be the same, but what we call ordinary annuities, which is what we're limited to. We're not doing more complicated annuities. Simple annuities, both the compounding period and the investment cycle are the same. So you're putting in the money and you're also compounding at the same regularity. So monthly here and monthly here. That's always going to be the case for what we're doing. So let's get started. Here's my calculator on the screen. Now, and I'm only going to work out the top part of the equation first. Let me show you the equation again. Here's the equation, right? The R, 1 plus I to the n minus 1, all of that stuff. That's what we're going to be using for this. So hopefully you have that equation somewhere close by, or I can remember it as we're going through this, okay? All right, so hold on, let's just get back to this here. Okay, so here we go. Here's my calculator. Here's my equation. So I'm only working out the top now. So the top says 75, all right? Double bracket. Everybody with me so far? And then I'm going to put in the 1 plus The interest rate here is 3.2%. So I need to convert that to a decimal, which would be 0.032. Remember how to convert from a percent to a decimal? Just move the decimal point 2 places to the left, or just divide by 100. It's the same thing. I'm going to divide that by, it says monthly, so that must be 12. I'm going to close that bracket. So I'm going to press this bracket here only once. I mean, I have two brackets at the beginning, but I only want to press it once. I'm going to raise that. Here's the key for raising it. You see the key I'm pointing to there. Raising that to the power of, no, I have to take 8 years monthly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate it to work it out for me. I'm going to take 8 times 12. Why 8 times 12? Because it's monthly and it's for 8 years. Okay. Now, I need to put the -1 in that comes from that formula. And for me to put that -1 in on my calculator, which is similar to, I know when we're doing this, Jahil's calculation was very similar to this. I'm going to press this key here, the key I'm pointing to now. So I can move from the exponent back down. So I'm going to press that. So it comes down now. So I can minus my 1 and I can close my bracket at that point. Okay, let me review these steps before I press the equal sign. I'm going to go back through this and show you all the steps that are in there. All right, so there's a 75, 2 brackets, 1 plus 0.032, that's the interest rate, divided by 12. And then I raise that to the power of 8 times 12. Why 8? Because it's 8 years. Why 12? Because it's monthly. And then I'm going to go over 1 so that I can minus that 1. And once I put those 2 brackets in, once I close that bracket, I can now press equals. And that is not my final answer, right? That's just the top of the fraction. I'm going to divide that now by just pressing the division key. I'm not going to write that number down because I don't want to have to try to remember that. I'm just going to press divided by. It's going to take that answer. I'm going to open another bracket. Then I'm going to take the interest rate of 0.032 and divide that by 12 again, because that's what my I is. I'm going to close the bracket, and then I'm going to press equal. Is everybody with me so far? Does that all make sense so far?
Yes.
Everybody else okay with that? Okay. So here's my answer. That's the answer I'm going to put in. So 8193 point. Now, how do I round this though? Because I need to round this right. I need 2 decimal places. So I need to stop after the 6. But should I keep the 6 or should I go up by 1? That's the real question, right? It's either going to be 6 or it's going to be 7. That's really what I'm trying to figure out here. Should I keep it as 6 or should I go up to 7?
Go up to 7.
Perfect, because I'm going to look behind the 6 and see an 8. And that means that that's 5 or more. That means that this goes up by 1. So that's 8193.17. That's what I'm going to put over here. Okay, 819. Okay, why am I not able to get back here? 1 second here. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Oh, I am trying to get back to this page here. Oh dear. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to put that number in. Maybe if I got rid of this here. I remember that number, 8193.17. Let's see if I can get here now. Ah. All right, that answer is 8.93.17. Hopefully everybody remembers that, okay? I'm not sure. Is it going to allow me to do it here? No, it's not. I'm trying to get back to the screen. So you can see, what screen are you seeing right now? Are you seeing the question or are you seeing the calculator still? What are you seeing now? Are you still seeing the question and the calculator at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not able to get back to, but anyway, that's the answer to that question. Okay, so 8193.17 is that answer. Now, what I need to do is to try to find a way to be able to get back to this. Hold on. Yeah, don't know why that is. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop sharing for a second and then come back to you. Okay, so just hang on, please. Don't move. Don't move. Oh boy. I'm trying to, 1 second here. Okay. All right. So, okay. Okay. Looks like I got back in. All right. What am I on now? I'm on the annuities homework. I'll start again. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. I'll get back to you in a minute. All right. Okay. So I'm going to start sharing the screen again. All right. So everybody can see my screen now. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to start again. And I'm going to put that answer in that we just got. Somebody just remind what that is again. Put the dollar sign in. 81 something another. What was it again? Anybody help me out with that, please? I forget what the answer was. I'll bring the calculator back up. Does anybody remember the answer? No?
Erase off my calculator.
Erase off the calculator. I'm going to put it back in again. That might be actually good for me to remember. Okay, so 75 bracket, two brackets, 1 plus 0.032 divided by 12. Close that bracket. Raise that to the power of 8 times 12. Oh, sorry. 8 times 12. And then go over 1, right, using this key here. Minus 1. Close that bracket. I got that. I'm going to divide that by open bracket. And then I'm going to go 0.032 divided by 12. All right. So here's my answer now. 8193.17. It's the same thing again. I still can't get back to this page for some reason. 8193. Okay, folks, hopefully that all made sense to you. All right. After I bring up this calculator, for some reason, I'm not able to get back to the page that I was on before. I don't know why that is. But does the procedure make sense?
Yes.
Right? Are you getting it on your, okay, so everybody getting it on their calculator, 8193.17. You're getting the same number I just got on my calculator. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Okay. How about every other people? Mohammed, I heard you. What about the other people in the room? Are you getting the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, if I close this, I don't know if that's going to help me to get back to this screen. It does not make me do that. I don't know why that is. Okay. I'm still presenting. Okay. So it looks like I did get back to it. So let me go back again here and go to the next question. Okay. Here we go. 8193.17. Okay, so I'm going to press save and continue. All right. I'm going to skip this question now. All right. I want to get to the one that's a little different, which is this one. All right. Everybody can see the question still. Payment needed monthly to have $1,500 in 7 years at 5% compounded monthly. So this is where the second equation comes in. All right. So I'm going to bring the calculator back. By the way, let me show the second equation again. Second equation is this equation right here. So it's A times I. That's the amount in the future times I. Then it's all over. This thing that used to be on top is now on the bottom. We're going to divide by all of this stuff on the bottom. So let's see if we can do this one by doing all of that. All right. So let me come back to the question now. Hold on a second. All right. So I'm going to bring up the calculator and I'm going to go through the steps. All right. Everybody see the calculator? Everybody see the question, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go with the 15,000, 3 zeros, multiplied by the I, which is 0.05 divided by 12. Okay? That's the A times the I. I'm going to get that answer. Now, I know what it looks like. It looks like 125 over 2. That's fine. If I want to change that to a decimal, I can hit this key right here, S to D key. So I get a 62.5. It doesn't really matter. Right? Either way, it's going to work. Then I'm going to press divided by now. Then I'm going to open those two brackets like I had on the top. So bracket, bracket, 1 plus the I again, which is the same I that we just had. So 0.05 divided by 12. Okay. Close the bracket. raise that to the power of, okay, let's do the same thing we did the last time. This is monthly for 7 years. So I'm going to take 7 and multiply that by 12. Everybody can see what I'm doing on the calculator, correct? Yes?
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I said,
Go ahead and ask.
can you go back a bit?
Sure. Let me go back. Okay, so I took the answer from the top. I didn't really write it down. It was just some number, right? And I'm dividing it by bracket, right? And then the 0.05 divided by 12 raised to the power of, and I'm doing 7 times 12 because it was 7 years monthly. So that's 7 times 12. Okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go over 1. So if I just put -1, no, that's not going to be right because it's minusing 1 from the 7 times 12. What I want to do is I want to go over by 1. So I'm going to hit this key right here. Right? So I can go over 1. And then it brings it back down from the exponent because I don't want to minus the 1 from the 7 times 12. I want to minus the 1 from all of this. Hit the -1 now. Close my bracket like I was doing when it was on top. And now I'm going to hit equal. Let me go back and show you what I've just done. All right, so my answer from the top divided by bracket, 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 raised to the power of 7 times 12. Why 7? Because it's 7 years. Why 12? Because it's monthly. Go over 1 so I can bring it back down, -1. And here's my answer. But that answer represents how much I have to put into the account every month for me to get $15,000 in 7 years. So every month I go in with $149. And by the way, this is 51 cents because this 0 either has to stay as a 0 or go up by 1. I'm going to go up by 1 because this is an 8. So I'm going to go up by 1. All right. Just give me one quick second here. One second. Okay, are you there? All right, so I'm going to hit enter now. There's my, oh, sorry, you know what? I entered twice. That's wrong. The answer I had before was the right answer. I forget what the answer was, but that's the answer I had before. I wonder if I can go back. Let me see if I can go back here. So that is equal. Yeah, let me just do it again. So here's my answer. And then I'm going to say divided by, I'm going to do it again. So get the right answer. Bracket, 1 plus 0.0, what is that, 5 divided by 12, raised to the power of, using this key right here, 7 times 12, so 7 times 12, right? Go over 1 and minus the 1, and then close my bracket. Here's my answer. So 149.51 is that answer. Now, I know I'm going to have some trouble getting back to this screen, so I'm going to close this up and try to remember that number, 149.51. Okay. Oh, there we go. 149. I need my dollar sign. 149.51. All right. I'm going to exit the quiz. And I have finished doing those questions. Now, there were 2 questions that I added on to that we're going to go through now, right? These are word problems that have a lot more words to them that we have to sort of decipher and get through to be able to pick out the parts that we want. So I'm going to go back in again to the same simple interest homework question. And no, sorry, that's not the simple interest homework question. We're supposed to be doing annuities. Where is it? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to skip right down to, I'm going to start this. I'm going to skip right now to the last 2 questions, which we didn't get to the last time. So you'll see the questions that I'm talking about. And we're going to talk about those 2 questions. Okay. So here is the first question. And I'll bring up the calculator in a second, but let's just see if we can figure out, first of all, which equation we need to use and what are the numbers that we're going to put into the equation. So Marissa is going to put $260 every 3 months, which is quarterly, right? It's a quarterly investment for the next 5 years into an account that's paying her 5% per annum, compounded quarterly. How much will Marissa have in her account when the last payment is made? So the question we have to ask is it the first equation or the second equation? Am I trying to figure out how much she needs to put in each time? Or do we know how much she's putting in each time and we just need to know how much she's going to have at the end of the investment? We go back to the question again. And we're going to read that question again and see if we can figure out which one it is. Is it equation 1 or equation 2? I'd like to hear some responses to that, please. Anybody?
Is that equation 2?
Well, let me look at equation 2 and see. Let's see if that's right. Equation 2 tells me how much the regular amount is if I'm trying to get to a certain amount later on. Right? It's telling me how much I need to put in each month to get to some desired amount of money later on. Equation 1 tells us if I am putting in a certain amount of money every month, every 3 months, every whatever the irregularity is, here's how much I'm going to have at the end of the day. So this one tells me how much I'm going to have at the end of the day. This one tells me how much to put in to get to the amount at the end of the day. Let's go back to the question again. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. So she's putting in $260 every 3 months quarterly. That's what it means. $260 quarterly for the next 5 years, getting a 5% per annum compounded quarterly. How much will Marissa have in her account when the last payment is made? Does it sound like, because remember there are 2 versions of the equation, does it sound like we're trying to figure out how much she's going to have in the future because she already knows how much she's putting in each month? Or does it sound like she has an amount that she wants in the future and she's trying to figure out how much to put in each month to get to that amount in the future? Which one does it sound like to you?
The second, you said.
The second one, you think?
Yeah.
Everybody else think the same thing?
No.
Okay, so I've heard two responses. Who else is there who can give me another? Or I just agree with one of the people before. What do you
I
think?
think it's the first one.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you because, and I'll tell you why, because this is the amount that she's putting in every 3 months, right? She doesn't know how much she's going to have in the future, right? That's what the question is asking. How much will she have in her account when the last payment is made? That's why it would make more sense for us to use the first equation because that's going to tell us how much that amount is. The R is the $260. That's the amount that she's putting in every 3 months into the equation. So let's go with the first equation on this one. Okay? All right, so let's get back to the question. So here's the question. It says $260 every 3 months, 5% per annum, 5 years. Okay, I'm going to bring the calculator up. So the 260, can we agree that that's going to be the R? Can we agree on that? Does that make sense? Okay, so 260. And we're going to open those brackets again. So bracket, 1 plus the I. Okay, now we need to figure out this I. I need some input again. What am I going to put for the I this time?
You're going to put decimal 0.5.
Good, so 0.05. What am I going to divide that by?
You're going to divide it by 12.
Well, this one says quarterly though.
Yeah.
So how many times per year is quarterly?
I think it's 4. I can't remember.
It is 4. It is 4. All right. So we're going to divide that by 4. And then we're going to close the bracket, raise that to the power. Now, what are we going to, there are 2 numbers we have to multiply here to get that exponent. What are the 2 numbers we're going to multiply by to get the exponent?
For the 5 years.
Good. Times what?
The 3 months.
No, because quarterly.
Yeah.
Quarterly is what again?
4.
There you go. Right. Let me go over by 1 and then minus the 1. Close my bracket. Hope everybody's with me so far. And then I'm just going to hit equals. Again, that's not my answer. That's not my answer. I'm going to divide that answer. I'm going to hit the divide key. Open a bracket again. The same I had on top, which you just told me, was a 0.05 divided by 4. Close my bracket. And I'm going to press equals now. Okay? That answer should be my answer. Just go back over here, see if there was somebody who I need to let in. Okay. All right. Now, let me come back to this. Everybody sees the answer that I got? The
Yeah.
5866? Perfect. That is my answer. So think about the situation. I think what's important here is for us to understand what's happening. This lady is putting a certain amount into her account 4 times a year. That's what quarterly means. She's going to the bank or to whoever her investment manager is. She gives him a check 4 times. She gives him 4 checks, but at different times of the year. So she goes to him 4 times for the year with a check for $260. And she does that for 5 years. So at the end of the 5 years, this is how much money she now has in her account if she's getting 5% per annum. And that's why that's the answer. So the 5866.3, no, this is rounded to 0.37 because the number after the 7 is less than 5. So that would be 0.37. So I'm going to put 5866.37. Okay? So 5866.37. There's my answer. I'm going to save and continue. We have one other question that I'm on. This is a long question, right? I'm going to bring up the calculator for you to look at. But I want you to think about this question. I'm going to clear out the calculator here. Mario is buying a entertainment system that's going to cost him $5,600, including HST. Everybody hopefully knows that when you go to buy stuff, you have to pay HST, which is a tax, with no payments and no interest for 18 months. So he's going to be able to take the stereo home and not pay anything at all. But he knows that in 18 months, he's going to have to pay this $5,600 in 18 months, right? So he's getting to take it home on credit. He's not paying anything now. But he's trying to figure out, says he realizes he must save money for the next 18 months in order to pay for this stereo. All right, so put yourself in that position. You just bought something, you haven't paid for it yet. They didn't ask you to give any money right away. They said in 18 months, you can pay us for the stereo then. The interest rate he can get on an investment is 3% compounded monthly. And he wanted to be able to come up with the $5,600 in 18 months to be able to pay for this. So let's see if we can understand what we're doing and then come up with the various parts of the equation. Is this equation one or, oh, by the way, it says calculate the monthly payment Mario must make into his account. The interest rate is 3% compounded monthly. So he wants to put in a certain amount of money into his account. And in 18 months, he wants to have $5,600. Does that situation make sense, right? He wants to make sure he has enough money to pay for the stereo. And that's why he has to put aside a certain amount every month. And he wants to know how, and he's getting 3% in his investment, 3% compounded per annum, compounded monthly. He wants to find out how much you put in every month for that to happen. Hopefully that situation makes sense to you. So the question now is, how much does he put in? Let me go back and ask the question again. Equation one or equation two? I heard two. Does everybody else agree with two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use equation two. So I'm going to go in now with the A times the I. Hopefully everybody is going to know what the A is in this case, what the I is in this case. I'm going to put that over 1 plus I to the n minus 1. That's all of the stuff we're going to do. Let me get back to the question. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's get back to the question. So let me bring up the calculator. Where do we start? What do we put first on top? Excuse me. What goes on top? You remember the formula?
Wait. Sorry.
You said equation two. Let me show you equation two again. There's equation two. This guy right here.
No, wait, sorry. You don't mind if I do something very quickly? Yeah, cause
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead. We're still here. We're going to be here.
okay.
All right. So what am I going to put as my A in this case? And what am I going to put as my I? Let me go back to the question. Can anybody help me out with that? Here's the calculator coming up on the side. What's my A in this case? Which part of the question is the A? Nobody know?
5,600.
Of course. Multiplied by the I. No, for the I, What's the I?
0.03.
0.03. Yeah, good. Divided by what? Divided by what?
1 plus.
No, not yet. Do not get rid of the 1 plus. That goes in the bottom for the equation. The equation, remember, let me show you the equation again. This part, that part goes on the bottom. The 1 plus thing goes on the bottom. All I need is A times I right now. That's all I need right now. Just the A times the I. Okay? So the question is, what is the I? You just told me 0.03 and then divided by something. So that's the I, but what am I dividing by to get the I? What's the compounding period here? What does the question say is the compounding period? Anybody. Doesn't have to be
Monthly.
anybody in particular. It's monthly. So if it's monthly, what am I going to divide by?
12.
Absolutely. There you go. So because that's the top, I'm just going to go ahead and get that answer right now. It works to be 14. Interesting. That's just 14. That's all that is. But that's not the answer. I'm going to divide that now. Hit the division sign. Now I'm going to put the two brackets now. Bracket, bracket, right? The two brackets are going in now. Now I'm going to put the 1 plus I. 1 plus, what was the I again? You just told me what the I was. What's the I again here? You just told me. We worked the I out for the top, so it's the same I for the bottom. What's the I in this case? Same I for the top. Remember the I for the top. 0.03 divided by what again?
12.
Of course. Right? But then now we have to raise that, close the bracket, to the power of, using this key right here. Now, what are we going to raise it to? That's interesting. The question is, we have to raise it to the number of months that we're going to be putting money into the account. So how many months is that?
18.
That's exactly right. It's just going to be 18. We don't have to multiply years by anything because we just do raise it to the number of months that we're dealing with. And it's 18 months. I'm going to go over minus the 1, close my bracket. You walk you back through those steps again. I'm going to go back through this. It's the answer from the top divided by the double brackets. The I, which is 0.03 divided by 12, raised to the power of 18. You just got that right, by the way. And then minus the 1. When I press that, now I should have my answer. Now remember what this answer is. That number that we're looking at is how much money he needs to put into his account every month for 18 months. So at the end of 18 months, he has $5,600. Okay? And that's what this number means. That 304.55 means bring that check to my investment person, whoever he is, invest it at 3%. After 18 months, I'll have my $5,600. I'm going to put that number in right here, 304.55. $304.55. That's it. Those are the two questions we did not get to the last time. And really, that's what I wanted to do with you today. Now, Mohammed, I know you had some questions about the mortgage, and I'm prepared to do those questions with you in a minute.
Okay.
But in terms of everybody else, I am going to put questions like these, so word problems, and you're going to have to figure out, I'm going to put another homework assignment for you now. You're going to have to figure, let me, by the way, exit the quiz here. You're going to have to figure out which formula works for which question. That's going to be my challenge for you, because I'm going to make it so that it's always going to be equation 1 or always going to be equation 2. You're going to have to read through the question, figure out which one it is, and then apply the formula. Okay? So is everybody, let me see who we have here. Is everybody clear on what it is that I just asked you to do? Right?
Yes.
All the steps that we went through. Okay. So if you're going to stick around for the going through mortgages again, that's fine. If you're okay with mortgages, then the class is over. And I'm just going to work on mortgages for a few minutes.